along with her husband. In their own home, she was murdered. And of course, these pricks that are sitting in this building are saying it was murder-suicide, that the husband killed her and then turned the gun on himself. Now, we heard from one of the speakers tonight that Nancy Schaefer was shot in the back and that he shot himself in the chest. Everybody was wondering, where's the gun? There was no gun found at the scene. However, the only gun that was even registered to the Schaefer family was a little handgun. So the caliber that was used to murder Nancy Schaefer and her husband was not the size of caliber of the gun that he owned. So how could it be murder-suicide? This is a homicide, folks. Clear and simple, a homicide. And I'm demanding that our Congress and that our House and the President of the United States, Donald Trump, to open an investigation back into the Nancy Schaefer murder.
Yes.
And hold the individuals accountable. And that's where we get back into the system, because we're going to talk about these critics that are sitting in these offices all throughout D.C. They're also part of the problem because they refuse to step up and do something about it. We have a system, folks, that is literally destroying the lives of our children. Judicial overreach, where judges can make their own decisions within Senate or family courts. It all needs to change. These judges need to be held accountable. They don't follow the common law. They don't follow color of law. They don't even follow constitutional law. But I tell you what, we have our constitutional rights. We have the right to raise our children. But I tell you what, the Constitution doesn't give us that right. It is a God-given right to raise our children. A God-given right. Nobody can take that right away from us. Now, I will tell you this. There are situations where children do need to be protected. And if there is physical abuse being done to a child, then criminal charges need to be brought out against them.
Yes. Jury trial.
Period.
Jury trial.
A jury trial.
Jury.
Every single time that we step into a family courtroom today, it is a closed courtroom. Screw the closes. We need to have our courtrooms open up to the public. So this judicial overreach has to end. So it will end. If we have the court watchers going in there, if we have the communities actually stepping up and saying enough is enough, put cameras in our courtrooms, put microphones in our courtrooms. So after the hearing's done, all we got to do is, I want a thumb drive of the entire trial, which gives you the video, which gives you the audio. Everything was recorded, so everybody would be held accountable for their misconduct and the judicial overreach. The judges, the lawyers, the doctors, the psychiatrists, the guardian ad litems, they will all be held accountable for their lies, for the false allegations, and for their abuse done to our children when they allow the other parent, the narcissistic parent, to sit there and continue to abuse our children. All this needs to end, and it needs to end today. It needed to end 20 years ago, back in 1997, when it was brought into law. And again, I'm going to go back to the Safe Families Act of 1997, because it gave financial incentive. The federal government gave financial incentive to every state to kidnap and traffic and drug our children. That's the number one thing that needs to change. It needs to end. We need to stop giving the states the incentive to kidnap, traffic, and drug our children. They get billions of dollars every year. And if they don't have a certain amount of children, they won't get the same amount. So what do? They up the ante. That means they're going to get 5 more children into the system, so they get more money. And it's all coming from our tax dollars under the Social Security Act of Title 40 and Title 4E. We need to get the federal government to butt their noses out of our faces and tell them to shut up and leave our families alone.
Woo!
We don't want to have to stand up here and do this, folks. We really don't. But for individuals like these right here walking past us, the folks that are out here looking at the seagulls and looking at the Capitol building, again, it seems like they don't even care. It makes me sick. Because this is an issue that affects all Americans. It affects your tax dollars. Your tax dollars are paying for these criminalistic judges, these criminalistic lawyers, these guardian ad litems. Your tax dollars is paying them to kidnap our children. That's right, sir. Apparently you don't care. Yeah, see? He just sat there and admitted he doesn't care. That's the problem with Americans today. They only care about themselves. Because if they didn't, they'd be sitting here with us in this cold talking about the same corruption. It's people like that gentleman over there. It's the reason why the people in this building, the President of the United States, will not and does not do anything about the corruption. Because they're all getting paid. They're all getting a piece of the pie. Well, I tell you what, folks, the ones that are out here talking right now, myself, and the millions of parents on Facebook, we're done. We are so done. And we will continue to speak. We will continue to outreach to all the parents out there because you can be affected. Your children can be taken. All it is at your door. Oh, it's Child Protective Services. Oh, we're taking your children. Oh, why are you taking my children? Oh, because we got this report. You know what? No, you're not taking my children. Oh, really? We don't have a choice. We fight back, we get arrested. They don't have to have a warrant, folks. They do not have to have a warrant. Again, it's judicial overreach. They don't have to have a parent to talk to our children like the police do. They can go to our children's school and talk to our children without us knowing. But they're a minor. They're a minor. Any child under the age of 18 needs to have a legal guardian for any legal authority to speak to them. But yet, Child Protective Services is immune to that. So again, congressmen, legislators, and the President, Donald Trump, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to fix the problem? Are you going to help the families out there get our children back that have been illegally kidnapped? I ask you again, are you going to help the families? There's many promises that Donald Trump has made to everybody. But the one thing I haven't heard is family law reform yet. So I'm asking you, President Donald Trump, what are you going to do about family rights? What are you going to do about children's rights? What are you going to do about the corruption that is destroying the livelihoods of our future generations? I ask everybody, not today, not tomorrow, because there's other rallies that are going to be going on throughout the year. But I ask everybody to strap on your boots, to lace up your laces, and come out and join every single rally. Because the only way we're going to get reform is to do exactly what Dr. Luther King Jr. did. It is to get out here and show our presence and demand reform. So I ask everybody to come out and join myself, Christy Beck, Ted Fogg, and Cass Jackson with Restoring Freedom on September 18th for the Million Parent March through D.C. We will be here in D.C., folks, on September 18th. I ask everybody to come and join us. My name is Brian Lee, founder and CEO of Truth Exposed and host of Restoring Families Internet Radio, and this is all I got to say. All right, I've been told somebody actually lost their glasses, so if anyone's got it looks like brown earpieces to go on their glasses, they can come find me. If anybody else wants to speak, they're more than welcome to come up. All right, well, I do want to play a clip real quick. Let me plug it in here. And it's something that I always play at the end of every single one of my shows on Restoring Families Internet Radio. Bear with me, I gotta pull it up. But it's a very powerful speech. And if anybody knows who this person is, I'll actually name it. It's Charlie Chaplin.
Sorry. I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I'm sorry. I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness of men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed. The bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die. And the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of the book of the Scripture, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill their promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
Ladies and gentlemen, to all the folks in D.C. today, we stand here before you because our children have been taken. Our children have been taken unlawfully. So we're asking for your help to help spread awareness to the corruption, to help us end the work of the corrupt system that stands behind us today in our nation's capital. It starts with them, and it starts with you. We need to fix this system so the parents behind me here can actually have a relationship with our children. Again, we will be out here on September 18th for the Million Parent March with Restoring Freedom with Cash Jackson, with all organizations within the family law movement, Truth Exposed, Op Exposed, children's rights groups, mothers' rights groups, fathers' rights groups. We will be out here joining forces together as one to fight for reform. Join us. Thank you. I do want to thank everybody that has come out today to help fight for family law reform, and to remember Nancy Schaefer, one of our own very finest activists today. You know, I owe a lot of thanks to a lot of people for their hard work and dedication to help promote this event and get a lot of people out here. I'm Kirsty Beck with Mommy Interrupted, Cash Jackson with Restoring Freedom, Carlos Rivera with his new radio show. Well, what is the name of it again? The Best Interest of the Children. So Carlos Rivera with Best Interest of the Children Radio. And everybody else that helped to promote all of this. You know, it's because of you is the reason why I do this. It's because of our children is the reason why I do this. So I thank each and every one of you for the hard work and dedication to help promote this, and for joining me here today in our nation's capital. I know a lot of you came from a long way away, Canada, you know, California. So I thank you a lot. You know, so again, we'll be out here on September 18th with Restoring Freedom with Cash Jackson. There will be a little march and then a stage, and like there is here today, there will be probably a massive stage. I know they're working on it right now. It's going to be huge. So definitely, please come out for September 18th. Everybody have a great evening. Stay warm. I know it's been cold out here. Thank you for bearing with us. And yeah, we'll see everybody at the next rally.
Thank you, Brian! Woo!
All right, I was wrong. We got another guest speaker here. We'll be out here for at least another 3 hours. About that, we were planning on doing a blue glow stick visual tonight, but as cold as it's getting, it's supposed to get even colder later this evening. So I don't think we're going to be staying for the glow stick visual. If anybody wants to, they can still get a glow stick and take with them. So once it gets dark, if you want to step outside and do a live feed, we can definitely do that. It is definitely extremely getting colder out here. So if you want a glow stick, just come talk to me. I got about 100 of them. Yeah, you know, please assist with that. Thank you.